Good evening, this is Kuro and Dinosaur number 2. And yeah, hi buddy. You tell him. And we have a tier 10 game in Shimakaze we both just did. Easy buddy, stay off the keyboard. And we're going to go on ahead and do a co-commentary. He was my driver on this one. We spawn over on C-Cap. We actually have a pretty substantial force over on C-Cap. And due to this, I'm going to go on ahead and try to step onto C-Cap. Some things kind of to think about when you're playing this, when you're watching this game, is about being flexible and going where your team needs you, or where you can do the most for your team, be the most effective. Basically, I'm pushing up here to C-Cap, and already I'm a little shaky on it with. We've got a Tago and a Yamato going south, a Turpitz that doesn't appear he's even moved at this point. So I'm already getting a feel that C-Cap's not really going to work out. So, like I've talked about in other commentaries, I don't like to kite up into the corners away from other caps. So I'm gonna come back down. Yeah, well, you tell him you're the driver. Hopefully he doesn't get too loud for the video. He likes to play the game along with the sister. Whoop, hey buddy, no pausing the video. That's forbidden. We're not driving right now. Getting back to what I'm saying, I want to try to point my bow towards B-Cap. The issue, or the idea being, that if I can't make C-Cap work, then I'm just going to go to B. And at this point, I have a DD on Cap. I've got a pretty good idea this guy has kind of taken this route here, and basically gonna start backing up into this guy. I've got an idea. It's obviously a destroyer. I'm torping the likely area where he'll hang out, and then what I'm gonna do, I don't see a lot of Japanese destroyer players do this, but you use RPF to locate where the enemy destroyer is, and then just reverse into him. You've got support right here. You've got, on most of the Japanese destroyers, you have 66% of your gunpowder on the stern of your ship. This is a really strong tactic for scouting with Japanese destroyers and zoning and pushing other enemy destroyers out of the cap. Now at this point I see there's a Kurfürst coming this way, and I'm expecting there's going to be some more guys popping up in here. But I still want to find this destroyer, and at this point I've got a Baltimore that's lost his mind, and he's just charging the cap. This guy's already dead. I'm not going to bother smoking him up. You know, he's already dead. I get detected, and if you see where my crosshairs are on the edge of smoke, let me pause it right there. When I was reversing in and I saw the smoke, I put my crosshairs near the edge of smoke, so I had a general idea what it was. The reason being, there was a Z52 in matchmaking, and that would tell me, you know, if I was in danger of being hydro detected, and basically allowed me that once I was hydro detected, I just quickly accelerate away. I'm already safe. They get a little bit of chip damage on me, and they figure out, hey, there's a Shimakaze in Cap, which this Z52 should already know because my torpedoes that went by earlier. So at this point, I'm going to use my Baltimore. I'm going to let this guy spot, and I'm going to try to get some damage in on this Z52. I shot high there. We've got some more torpedoes coming in. Z52 actually is hydro detected, or Might be radar. I don't know. I don't know why this guy didn't pop radar early. Honestly, don't really care. It's just one of those things. At this point, I know that I can't hold this cap. I've got a destroyer here, a destroyer here. I'm going to drop some preemptive torps. I'm expecting this Richelieu to turn and angle this way towards our turrets. And those torpedoes, he's already dead. You just, when you're in that close against a battleship, you're gonna wreck him. If you can predict turns, there's no chance. So with him dead, I'm skirting by this gearing in his smoke, and I'm just gonna go Cap B. You know, gonna try to tell these two teammates, just get out of there. You're not gonna win against all of these guys. There's no point fighting over all that. Trying to clue them in as to really what they should do if they don't know already. Now at this point I see a Bismarck and a Zhao and a Gearing that are all kind of in this area, so I really want to get some torpedoes off in this area. Waiting for my torpedo reload. And this right here is actually one of the differences where F3s make a big difference with this sort of play style. You'd have to let them come in a little bit closer, where you could drop them, you know, 10 to 9.5 kilometers, depending on what kind of angle they're pushing in here. But that faster reload is really nice for these situations where you're actually in a cap and defending it. Yeah, easy, buddy. We're not driving yet. So I go on ahead and I just blanket this entire area. I'm looking to try to punish anything that's going to try to push through this little triangle right here. And at this point I see the Zhao's turned out, the Bismarck's taking the bait, he's making the push, and right here I'm tentatively trying to make it up in here. I see I'm not going to get enough torps in here, so I'm just going to beach. Got a DD that smokes up. That tells me it's probably the Gearing, maybe the Z-52. At this point, I don't want to really let them know what's going on. I'm expecting this DD. Yeah, just easy. I was expecting that Gearing just smoked up that battleship, having just seen that battleship take a bunch of torps, and is trying to do the friendly good play for the team. And what ends up happening, because I didn't immediately smoke up and shoot this Bismarck, that Gearing ended up pushing out of his smoke and into me, and I waited for him to shoot, and once he shot, I went on ahead and I had already had smoke deployed, but I was reversing full speed, so I was staying outside of my smoke. And then as soon as he shot, I just accelerated forward, and that in turn puts me back into the smoke screen, and the Gearing stuck. He's going to be spotted by my team in the cap. Easy. You're okay. You're okay. You're alright. I know you want to drive. We'll get another game in here shortly, buddy. But at this point, I'm just farming. We've got this Ibuki up here. I'm gonna drop some torps, get some shots in there. There's a lot of dual-purpose torps going in up there. With this DD here, The Kurfürst can come around here, push into the Torps plus the Ibuki. They're not real good torp angles on the Destroyer or the Ibuki. And it's set of 4 torps, it's the Z52. Z52 pops up right here. I am just waiting until I get torpedo safe, then I'm gonna start shooting. Gonna get some shots off on this Z52. Try to get this guy off the board. This game's already pretty much won, and it's, you know, it's time to get aggressive and get the most we can out of the game. So I'm pushing back up. We have a Zhao that has basically thrown the game, giving up all the objectives on the enemy team, and we have a Kurfürst that this guy really didn't do much up there in CCAP. I'm kind of taking a look to see if I was that battleship, I'd be making the push into BCAP. But he's going to try to sail into our spawn, so I'm just going to go on ahead and cut right through this island. Try to cut him off where I can get some torps off. Again, this game, it's been about trying to be where I'm most useful. Spotting for my team. There's not a lot of spotting damage in this game, mainly because most of my team went south, and they were focused on any enemy ships down there. So, regardless, I basically ended up doing a bunch of damage up in the north on things. So at this point, I'm expecting this Kurfürst to angle at the Yamato. So what I'm doing is I'm dropping my torps to basically be in his path when he's angling at this Yamato like he is now. Now these first 2 set of torps, they miss, whether he's got hydro up or whatever, I don't know. This second set of torps, you know, Shimakaze puts out a lot of torps, and it only takes 1. I mean, you get the flood, and you know that really puts him in a bad situation. Actually, I think he's already blown his repair, and he's flooding out at this point, and that's the game. Yeah? Do you want a Kaba game, buddy? So taking a look at the results, pretty good accuracy, only 34 non-pens shooting that many cruisers and battleships. That's telling me that my aim's getting back from having taken so much time off. Things are starting to click again. Again, taking a look, 83 main battery hits for 15k. I had 1 fire, and you know, it's your gun damage is gravy a lot of the time. It's you know, here I get unlucky because there's not a lot of fires for the number of shell hits, and you know, it's some of the targets that I did land torps on didn't get any follow-up fires, and it's just bad RNG, and it happens occasionally. But when it does click, you end up really stacking up a lot of damage. Yeah, you like the flooding and fire, huh? So, again, the lesson really to take from this game is don't get tied up too much in one spot on the map. I could have stayed up there at sea, and I probably would have died and had, you know, relatively minor impact over the course of the game. Instead, I came down to B cap and helped take that, and then that put me in pretty good position to torp anything trying to get back into B cap. And if you're in a torpedo boat or any destroyer with torpedoes, you always want to be in front of an enemy push so you can use your torpedoes to the most to their maximum effectiveness. So anyway, hope you guys like the game. Hopefully Dinosaur number 2 wasn't too much for this commentary. If it was, let me know. Um, and I will talk to you guys later.